Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. My name is Cindy. I am delighted that you're here today and part of the Soulprint family. So, you're going to be seeing this on September 14th. I'm recording it just a couple of days early. There's just some things I want to, you know, check out today, so I'm going to record it. A couple of housekeeping things. I had a subscriber who is now unsubscribed. She told me in no uncertain terms because she thought that I wasn't nice enough to the judge who was mandating that hospital um, into using that horse dewormer. And, she just thought I wasn't spiritual enough. And so this is the thing. Just because somebody is spiritual, it doesn't mean that they can condone stupidity, one. And two, if anybody's actually looking at me as a messiah of some kind, just don't. I check my aura every day and I can promise you there's not a halo spinning around up there. We're human. And thank God, because if we weren't, we wouldn't be here. Okay, so there's that. For my new subscribers, thank you so much for being here and for all of the lovely comments and thumbs up. It's brilliant, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you and all of the support that I get. So thank you. I want to do a couple things today. One, I've got some sort of rapid fire pendulum questions that I want to ask. And two, I want to take a look at this September 18th rally. So let's get started. For anybody who is new to this channel, I use this very short pendulum simply because it's easy for you all to see on your screens as opposed to a long one, and I would be holding it up. And because of that, there tends to be a little bit more vibration in the hand than you would see in a longer chain. But this is about energy. This has nothing to do with me willing the pendulum to do something, okay? And for those of you, back and forth like that is yes. Pendulum, show me no. And round. And pendulum, show me that you're ready to talk, please. And you'll see it goes side to side. And my pendulum, this pendulum and I have a really tight relationship. It responds very quickly. I have other pendulums, but none of them are quite this enthusiastic or react quite that fast. They react fast, but not like this one. So here we go. Here's some of my questions. For those of you out there who like to use your pendulums, I'm about to start. Here we go. And I just love it when you guys send me sort of the results of what your pendulums say versus what my pendulum said. So here we go. First question. Is Gavin Newsom going to lose the governorship? Is that recall going to boot him out of the government? No. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Oh, sorry. I couldn't decide if I should stop filming or what I should do. Okay, so that's a no. I'm just going to ask that another way. Is his primary Republican contender going to be taking office? And that's a no. And the third way I'm going to ask that question is Gavin Newsom going to stay on as the governor of California? So yes. All right. I'll take a look at McCarthy. Is Kevin McCartney going to be Speaker of the House as a result of the 2022 midterm elections? Is that going to happen for him? Yeah, no, that doesn't look like it's going to happen for him at all. Is Kevin McCartney ever going to be Speaker of the House? No. And you know what? Listen, while we're looking at pipe dreams, let's just ask this one. Is Donald Trump ever going to be Speaker of the House? No, he's not. Is Donald Trump actually going to run in the 2024 election? No. Okay, and just for everybody's reassurance, um, two things for everybody's reassurance. One, are the Democrats going to increase the number of seats they hold in the Senate as a result of the 2022 midterms? They are. And, well, nice if I hadn't, that other question hadn't blown out of my head. Is any Republican going to win the presidential election 2024? Okay, and that's a no. Ron DeSantis' popularity rating is dropping. His approval rating is dropping. Is that a trajectory that we can anticipate continuing? Are his numbers going to continue to go underwater and stay there? Yes. And this is the thing. As his numbers drop, those big donor supporters that are funneling money into him are going to realize that it's, good money after bad. And so I anticipate that funding is going to dry up as they realize that he really doesn't have a solid chance any longer to be a presidential contender. Okay. Sort of same question for Abbott. Abbott is also losing, his approval rating is dropping, etc. People are not approving of the way he's handling his governorship. Are his numbers also going to continue to reflect the fact that he is losing the confidence of his voters? Yes, they are. Okay, so that's good news. Is Roe versus Wade going to be overturned? No, it's not. Dianne Feinstein, so she's a senator from California, and one of the things that's kind of going on with this Republican attack on Devin Newsom is he's making it really, really clear, or Gavin Newsom, he's making it really, really clear that, when he wins, he is going to sort of get rid of Dianne, and for sure he's going to put in a Republican senator. So first of all, is Dianne Feinstein likely to run again? Is she likely to seek another term as senator? No. Next question. Is there going to be or has there been some conversation while Gavin is governor for her to retire, thereby allowing him to put in another Republican senator in her place? Is that a conversation that's going on behind the scenes? Yes. Okay. Let's talk about SCOTUS for a second. Are the total number of judges sitting on the U.S. Supreme Court likely to increase? Yeah. And will that be to rebalance the court and not make it quite so lopsided? Yes. Okay. Kavanaugh. Does Kavanaugh actually have any longevity on the bench? Oh, poor Brett. Looks like he might be in some trouble. And how about Amy Coney Barrett? Is she going to be on the bench for years to come. And that's also a no. So I'm not sure what that story is, but it looks like, two of the most extreme of the right wing. Um, and is there going to be a loss of one of the Republican type judges, one of the more established ones, due to illness or retirement? Or is there going to be a loss of one of those seats too? Okay, so right now that's a no, which is interesting because I'm quite sure that a while ago, my pendulum was talking about one of them retiring or leaving the bench. So we shall see how that unfolds. Just trying to think if there's anything else really. For my Canadian viewers, let's do this. Is Justin Trudeau going to win re-election on the September 20th election? Is he going to continue on as Prime Minister of Canada? And that, again, is a yes. Okay. So I want to take a look at the so-called, what is it, J6 rally, where these people are gathering to protest the treatment of the political prisoners from the January 6th insurgents. Okay, so it's an interesting thing because, I don't pay like complete total attention to things, but it seems like every time I turn around, I'm hearing about another one of those people pleading guilty, including the guy with the horns, the shaman, QAnon person. And, honestly, talk about giving shamans a bad name with that kind of nonsense. But anyways, so people they're pleading guilty all over the place. So I kind of am losing understanding about who's left for them to be so concerned about. But, let's just see what's going on. I want some additional information, and I want information not only about Washington and the Capitol, because, what, honestly, it's not going to be in session, and they've got guards all over the place now. They've got the fencing back up. But I'm also concerned about those kinds of protests going on at other, like, state buildings. So let's take a look, shall we? Come on down. I have a question. All right. Ooh. What else flew out here? One more quick. Information, September 18th rally. Information, September 18th rallies. Information, September 18th rallies. Here we go. Oh. Alrighty. Okay. So, forewarned is forearmed. Like, let's just start there. I have always felt, to some degree or another, this thing is going to fizzle. It's not going to be as big. It's not going to be as aggressive as I think people fear. Does that mean it's not going to happen? No, it does not. It means, though, that it's not going to have, I almost want to use the word velocity, of the January 6th situation. It feels much more, disorganized, I almost want to say, and smaller in number. So, the real right wing guys, they're going to be there, make no mistake. But some of the other ones who have been watching a little bit more carefully with what happens to these people who took part in the January 6th one have sort of started to go, okay, you know what, maybe I don't want to do this because maybe I actually like my life and maybe I really don't think I want to spend time in jail over this. So it definitely feels like this thing was not built on firm enough foundation to actually have the same sort of impact. There are a lot of people who, it's interesting because it's not so much that they don't hear the message or they don't accept the message. I'm talking about the same people who completely supported what happened January 6th. But it feels as if they're just not interested in continuing to hear it. It feels as if what you have now are the extreme right wing people, but sort of the ones who were just venting and yelling because they feel, sidelined or not understood or whatever their story is. It feels like those ones are really not listening to the message anymore. They don't want to hear it, in fact, anymore. So the thing is it doesn't really matter what their wish is. It's not going to live up to their expectations. What they're going to discover is they're coming up against a little bit more strength in resistance than they thought. And again, come on, people, let's do some simple logical thinking here. You've let the whole country know this is happening. You've let everybody know your intentions. You must have by now figured out that different government agencies like Homeland Security are monitoring what you're saying and doing, even in the dark web. So what makes you think that this is going to be some sort of a surprise attack? It's not. And so it really feels like they're going to come against a lot more resistance than it's almost like than they're anticipating. So I have to tell you, it kind of feels, as I'm stepping into this energy, it sort of feels a little bit like there's going to be these small pockets who are going to do everything they can to create a lot of violence and anger. They're going to really, really be trying to incite. But it feels like overall there's actually sort of a calmness or a balance that takes place. Now, I'm sure that a significant part of that is not because these people are prepared to be rational as much as because, the security people are in place. They've got the National Guard there. You've got the Capitol Police. You've got, I'm sure, the Metro Police involved. And likewise in state capitals, it's not like they're sitting there undefended. It's not like they think that they're not going to sort of face their own J6 rally. And so it just feels like these people are going to try to cause trouble to try to really shift, especially the more they see it's really not gaining power on that day. The more sort of antagonistic they're going to become, the more violent they're going to become. But I don't know. And I have to tell you, in some ways, it really does feel like there is going to be sort of divine intervention. There is going to be a lot of protection placed around these government buildings, and not just one or two of them, but almost all major government buildings across the land are going to have protection on it. And for those of you who are also subscribers or viewers of the Soulprint Insights channel, I am really, really hoping to get out sort of a positive energy circle. It's probably going to come out, I almost want to say like midweek. And so that you've got some time to gather that energy and do our own protection over those government buildings. So that's going to be coming out. Look for that probably around Wednesday. But there's going to also be additional, energy protection. The light workers are going to be very, very busy doing a great deal of energy work to keep things as calm and as neutralized as possible. So again, it feels as like these lower vibration or lower consciousness energies are going to have, it just feels like a harder time digging in. Now, again, don't think nothing's going to happen, but I'm just feeling that it's not going to be kind of the barn burner that they anticipate or that they're hoping. It just doesn't look like it's going to go so well for these people. Yeah, they're charging forward. They've got this message, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be, I almost want to say resonating with the volume of people. Those people on the extreme right, it doesn't matter what they say, it's going to resonate because these people are going to twist their brains around to make sure it aligns with whatever the newest thing is. But it really doesn't feel as if the situation is gaining a huge amount of traction. So the message, and in some ways the message almost feels a little bit silly or naive. Now, is that going to prevent people from believing it who want to believe it? Of course not. But it definitely feels like, I don't know, it just feels like it's just not getting the support. Yeah. Again, as I said, they put a fair bit of work into this. I mean, they're really trying. And they're not against using bullying tactics, okay? So it's weird because I feel like I'm sending you a real mixed message here, but it doesn't feel mixed as I'm receiving it. There are going to be instances. There are going to be instances in Washington. There's going to be a couple of other state capitals that are going to see some real volatility or aggression, but none of it feels as if they're going to be able to sort of rise to that same level. And of course, then their messaging after the fact is going to be, well, we all told you it was going to be a peaceful rally. I don't know why you guys all thought that this was going to be like, violent. Well, because, just because. But as I said, it doesn't seem to matter how hard they push. It's not going to accelerate the way January 6th did. And again, security forces are in place and they are working diligently and they will be working diligently to keep areas, government areas, etc., safe. Yeah. So I don't want to say that, this crazy is coming to an end because it's not. But I think what you're going to see I want to say 18 to 24 months, over the next period of time, you're going to see a lot of this sort of crawling back under the rocks or back into the shadows as you have, again, people are going to be arrested on September 18th. And there's going to be, again, that push for real justice. And you're going to have more and more people who have already been charged pleading guilty. And so it just feels like they're in some ways going to actually have a hard time holding on to the messaging and the momentum. It also feels, this is interesting, but it also feels like some of the support, and I'm talking financial support, and I don't know if this is dark money, I don't know where this is coming from, but it feels like some of that support is actually either going to dry up or be found out. But one way or another, there is kind of something going on with the money, the funds, and it feels like that is also not going to be going in these people's favor. And they're going to continue to try to find ways, et cetera, but the reality is they're really like not going to be able to do so. It just feels like, and also I want to say it looks like some of the support or resources could be very well coming in from over the water. But again, even if it is, it feels like that support is not as robust as it has been in the past. And yeah, so bottom line is it feels very much as if it's not going to fizzle and be nothing, but it's also not going to be as big as I think a lot of people are fearing. And while I'm at it, let's stop that fear, okay? Let's just stay in a really positive headspace where we know that protection is in place. We're protecting the buildings, the land, all the people who are guarding the buildings, the police, the National Guard, all of them. And, that's where we're putting our focus, not on the fear of what might happen, but on the power of our protection, because ultimately there's going to be arrest and there's going to be heartbreak, and they're not going to do so well with it. They're really not. I don't know. Does that make them actually reassess stuff? I don't know. But it definitely looks like, I don't know. It just feels sort of like it's going to dust a little bit. Okay, it's not disappearing, but it definitely is losing some of its power and some of its momentum, particularly as the Department of Justice continues to investigate and continues to push ahead. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I've just been told that the individual that they're seeking who put the bombs by the DNC and the Democratic National Party. Okay, so Democratic DN Committee, C, and whatever the Republican one was. Sorry, my brain just fritzed on me. It feels like they are going to be able to identify that person within the next few months. I'm just seeing that individual sort of as we see him and recognize him from the videos. I see him being sort of perp walked with handcuffs behind his back. So it feels like that also is going to be clarified. And, you've got the reality here. The government is going to hold. Guardrails are going to hold. And that is going to, in and of itself, actually produce, I want to say a calming effect. People are going to start to feel a little bit more reassured that things are not sort of quite as volatile, I think, as a lot of people fear or are worried or concerned about. All right, so that's what I know today. Thank you so much for joining me. And as I said, you're going to be seeing this on Tuesday, so probably tomorrow for you, Thursday at the very latest. But I'm going to aim for Wednesday on the Soulprint Insights channel, and on this channel, you're going to see a video come up under the title of Positive Energy Circle. Okay. So, and I'm in advance. Thank you for all of those of you who are going to partake in that and use your white light, powerful energy to create protection where protection needs to be, and not fall into the fears of, or the energy of fears. I'll say it that way. Okay, so thank you for being here. Thank you for everything. Anybody looking for readings? I am booking beginning of October. And if you go into the drop box below this video, you will see an email address that you can just send me a quick email, and I will send you out the information that you are needing in order to connect with me. Until next time, take care. Be well. We'll see you really soon. Bye-bye.